Tidbits from TNT, Wednesday morning, March 26, 2025. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Tishwash, MP. America has no other means of pressuring Iraq than economic means. Member of Parliament Amer Hussein confirmed on Wednesday that America has no other cards than the economic card and financial pressures to confront Iraq with in order to exert pressure and achieve its goals. Hussein told Al-Maluma, America has no other cards than the economic cards against Iraq if it wants to tighten the noose on the country, such that it will move towards restricting the movement of Iraqi funds held in American banks. He added, the American side has the economic card to play with Iraq, as it is possible to prevent dealings with certain companies and restrict financial transactions. But such a siege cannot be resorted to by Washington without justifications that push it to such options. He explained that America will not be able to re-exert pressure on Iraq through the security aspects related to the terrorist ISIS, and therefore it is working on the economic card to achieve its interests. Tishwash, Al-Sudani. Iraq is witnessing a state of recovery, growth, progress, and prosperity. Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani affirmed on Tuesday that Iraq is witnessing a clear state of recovery, growth, progress, and prosperity, and that we are working to advance this process. He emphasized that establishing security and stability will enable the state to provide services and implement development and economic projects. The Prime Minister's media office said in a statement, seen by Al-Iqtisad News, that Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani, joined officers and fighters of the Land Forces Command for a Ramadan iftar meal. The statement added that al-Sudani congratulated those present on the fasting of the holy month of Ramadan, stressing that the security and stability witnessed by the country is thanks to the sacrifices of the members of the security services of all kinds. He pointed to the improvement in security indicators, in light of security and stability, and the decline in terrorist operations, attacks and even criminal crime, stressing that imposing security and stability will enable the state to provide services and implement development and economic projects. Al-Sudani stressed, according to the statement, the necessity of securing the fighters' entitlements and rights, especially those related to providing housing, indicating that the Ministry of Defense has made significant progress in completing the requirements for distributing residential plots, and they will soon be distributed in serviced areas among members, as a government commitment. In addition to caring for the families of martyrs and the wounded, without whose sacrifices security and stability would not have been achieved in Iraq. The Prime Minister affirmed that Iraq is witnessing a clear state of recovery, growth, progress and prosperity. And we are working to continue it, stressing that we must remain prepared, alert and vigilant, and this is achieved by adhering to basic principles. He added that discipline, commitment, professionalism and readiness to sacrifice are military values that must be present, and leaders, officers, commanders and non-commissioned officers must instill them in their behavior towards army members. He explained, we need continuous training and updating its curricula to raise the level and readiness of army members to face various challenges. The Prime Minister explained that the government has made significant strides in empowering the Iraqi army, with all its leadership, formations and types, especially in the field of armament. He continued, arming the army will be done through several projects that we are working to complete, in addition to rehabilitating the infrastructure of bases and camps. It is our duty to deliver all rights stipulated by laws and decisions to the families of martyrs and the wounded. Al-Sudani concluded his remarks by emphasizing that Iraq's path is moving in the right direction toward brotherhood, solidarity, unity, and a unified national discourse for all Iraqis. Tishwash. New cabinet decisions include Eid al-Fitr holiday. Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani chaired the 12th regular session of the Council of Ministers on Tuesday, during which the latest developments in the country's general situation were discussed. The implementation of the government program was followed up, and the topics on the agenda were discussed and decisions were made regarding them. A statement from the Prime Minister's media office, a copy of which was received by Euphrates News, stated, on the occasion of Eid al-Fitr, the Council decided to suspend official work throughout the coming week. It also voted to grant a sum of money to orphans who receive cash assistance, as part of the social protection network. He added, in line with Iraq's consistent approach to supporting our Palestinian people in Gaza, the Council of Ministers has decided to authorize the Ministry of Health to send medicines, equipment, devices, and medical supplies to Palestinian patients and wounded patients in Egyptian hospitals. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs, in coordination with the Palestinian ambassador to Iraq, will determine the status of the wounded in Iraq and submit recommendations to the Prime Minister for decision. In the file of supporting the Yazidi component, the Council of Ministers agreed to extinguish 100% of the amounts of purchasing residential plots of land on which the houses are built in the Yazidi complexes in Sinjar and Al-Baj, provided that a non-disposal sign is placed on the properties for a period of 3 years from the date of ownership. Equal to the Council of Ministers' decision 372 of 2019, related to Alkish Castle in Nineveh Governorate, provided that this file is completed within 60 days. In the energy file, it was approved to refer the tender for the gas processing plant, GPP, at the Artawi Gas Processing Complex project, South Gas Company, to the China Petroleum Engineering and Construction Corporation, CPECC. In the same context, the Council approved the recommendation to increase the purchasing power of the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Oil for the project to establish a gas isolation, drying and compression station in the East Baghdad field. The recommendation to refer the tender numbered CSSPITT-06 of Basra Oil Company to the China Petroleum Pipeline Engineering Company, CPPE, was also approved, with a total implementation period of 54 months, including 42 months for the design, preparation and implementation phases EPC and 12 months for the operation, maintenance and training phase. The statement continued, the vote also included increasing the cost of the main project to deliver fuel to industrial and electrical projects for the Oil Ministry's pipeline company, approving the exemption of the Mason Investment Refinery project from advertising, competition, and related decisions, and authorizing the Southern Refineries Company to sign the new contract. As part of the government's efforts to diversify electricity sources, approval was given for the Ministry of Finance to allocate plots of land in the governorates of Kirkuk, Anbar, Diyala, Salah al-Din, Najaf, Babel, Dhi Kar, Muthana, Wasit, Mason, and Diwania to establish renewable energy, solar production stations, provided that the Ministry of Agriculture lifts the hand of agricultural reform from the lands covered by the agricultural reform laws, and the governorates are responsible for obtaining the approval of other relevant authorities as needed for each case. The Council of Ministers approved authorizing the Minister of Electricity or his representative to do the following. 1. The authority to sign with Power China International Group Limited, in the field of energy cooperation in Iraq, and to proceed with procedures in line with the Ministry of Electricity's plan. 2. The authority to sign the Principles of Energy Cooperation in Iraq, Phase 3 between the Ministry of Electricity and Siemens Energy AG. 3. Signing the framework agreement between the Ministry of Electricity and GE Vernova International. In the agricultural sector, the recommendation regarding the agricultural plan was approved, which includes the Ministry of Agriculture's commitment to submitting agricultural plan distribution schedules at the level of irrigation schedules for the divisions and directorates and the governorates, in a way that ensures proper coordination between the concerned parties, and the rejection of the use of drainage water to irrigate lands, whether from the general drain, branches, or any other drains, as well as the approval of the recommendation regarding the adoption of the exploitation record, and the endorsement of the Agricultural Committee in the Governorate, and the endorsement of the Article 140 Committee, and for the preparation of seeds only. The Council of Ministers approved the Third Periodic Report of the Republic of Iraq on the Arab Charter on Human Rights after adopting its amendments, with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs referring the report to the relevant committee in the League of Arab States. The Council also voted to approve authorizing the Babel Governorate to issue an invitation to the company implementing the Great Hilla Sewerage Project, Phase 1. The consortium of companies, GCIT Babi Limed, to implement the second phase of the project. As part of the government's approach to completing stalled and suspended projects, Approval was given to increase the reserve percentage. And the total cost of the project, to establish a closed sports hall in Alkerna Sports Club, while the council decided to postpone the collection of customs duties for imported electoral goods and materials in the name of the Independent High Electoral Commission and for their exclusive use in accordance with Cabinet Resolution 23035 of 2023, until December 31, 2025. It was also approved that the Ministry of Planning would donate the tablets used in the 2024 General Population and Housing Census to ministries and government agencies. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Source: dinarrecaps.com